helpless, defeated, holding on to something I've needed. I'm looking for a reason, finding all you're wanting, that demon. Helpless, defeated, holding on to something I've needed. I'm looking for a reason, finding all you're wanting, that demon. And you took it all away from me, and you took it all away.
15 Average Gaming and their return to form. A loss in invitational qualifiers months, plural, ago, and now a shot to make it through the monthly qualifiers. I'm Tom Blight, joined alongside me here is Seymour. They would be the second team to lose an invitational, then come back in a different set of qualifiers, just to then make it to the playoffs afterwards. This is our last monthly qualifier. It is the last instance of Counter-Strike 2, at least outside of playoff contention, and it is a massive best of three to send one of these teams into the Final Four.
It begs the attention, though, Time to Light, that we have yet to see a team through the Invitational make it to the playoffs. It's only been the open qualifier teams who have qualified to the road ahead for 15 Average Gaming. All right, it is just not going to get any easier today. We're back in CS for Arena Esports. It's going to be a fun time. Going to be more excited to see everything unwind today.
Yeah, this also would be a little bit of a caveat. The last time that we saw a team make a redemption arc, they had a second shot because of the open qualifiers. That's not the case for 15 Average Gaming. They made it through invitational qualifiers, and history would tell us invitational qualifier teams lose every single time, to the point where Team Nevermind has made it before. They've lost. They're now coming back in through the open qualifier looking for a second shot. I gotta say, this is looking like a pretty good final best of three to our Counter-Strike 2 series before playoffs, before, of course, everything else down the line. There's still a heck of a lot of Counter-Strike to play, but just not this week.
I think that's the best way to put it, TTL, is that this is the last chance for a team to make it into the playoffs. We've already filled the spot 3 times. We'll be able to cover that when we do look at the roadmap that we've been through for here, but this is it for both Nevermind and 15 Average. After this chance, you don't get that chance again. As we keep on saying, getting to the land at the end of the road, making it into the playoffs, having that experience together, it's so important. It is something that I'm sure a lot of these teams are looking forward to and trying to seize that opportunity. But if you don't make it here, you don't have that other chance. You're gonna have to wait till the next time we have an Arena Esports tournament or the next tournament to come up to, and we're sure nobody wants to wait that long. So this is a very important best of 3, not only for, finding that last spot in the playoffs, but for, I guess, the legacy that these teams want to leave in this Arena Esports tournament.
So now I'm very hopeful that Arena runs yet another event because I have been looking forward to them. Here are your qualifiers to the playoffs already. Easy Money Snipers from Monthly Final 1, RGW from Monthly Final 2 after losing in Monthly Final 1 to Easy Money Snipers, and then Team Poggers in Monthly Final number 3. 2 teams returning to the fray, 2 teams that we have seen in past events, Team Nevermind and 15 Average Gang. I am a fan of both of these teams, like very much a fan of both of these teams. However, we will only see one of them after today.
Yeah, I feel like everybody in some kind of semblance is going to be a fan of the underdogs. And when you look at these two teams, they have to be the underdogs going into this last playoff qualifier spot because, 15 Average Gang, they've been here. Nevermind, they've been here. Neither one of them have made it, although you want to spin it in a way that maybe they are the team that is going to be the underdog heading into the playoffs. The chance that they've had this much time to work on themselves, practice with them amongst each other, and, face the adversity of not making it into the playoffs right away, they should, in, pen and paper, be the sharpest teams that we have seen so far in Arena Esports because of that practice, because of the failure that they have faced. And, whoever wins here, I'd maybe upgrade them from an underdog to maybe a favorite going in towards those playoffs.
All I'm saying is that on a technicality, Nevermind should win this. If we're going by superstition, if we're going by past, present, and now future, Nevermind should be the team to take this best of 3. However, they have 2 things going against them. Never have we had 2 separate teams from 2 previous qualifiers, whether it be invitational or monthly, make it into a different monthly qualifier. That is the case today. Nor, have we had a map pool, I'll spoil it now, without Anubis in the monthly qualifier. Anubis will not be played. This is the first time it has happened in specifically monthly qualifiers. It has happened twice in invitational qualifiers, but even then, seeing 8 total best of 3s played in Counter-Strike 2, and of those 8, seeing 6 of them, or 5 of them, contain Anubis. Gotta say, that's a little surprising.
We won't spoil the whole show just yet. Let's not go into the full details of the map set just yet. But we can talk about our prize pool with $1,200 once again on the line for today. albeit we've already seen a couple of teams rise and fall inside of these opportunities. Our third place team and our fourth place team has already been decided, but for today, they're playing for the first place spot and the second place spot of our monthly finals qualifier number 4. You can see that highlighted all the way to the bottom of the screen for the tournament roadmap, but just take a look at how far we have come since the beginning of the CS tournament, through our invitationals, through our open qualifiers, through our monthly finals, and you take a look at what is next. Our playoffs coming up around the corner. 3 teams have been waiting, some a little bit longer than the others, but even still, they have been waiting for a moment to take the stage once again here at Arena Esports, and their chance is not too far away.
Oh no, not by any means. 15 average, like we said, coming off of an invitational loss a couple months ago. Nevermind coming off of a monthly loss just a couple weeks ago, and coming out of the open qualifier. 15 average gaming obviously winning the invitational qualifier just last week. They had the, we'll say, fortunate nature of coming out of that one, but again, in terms of superstition, in terms of what may be, what can be, there's no guarantees, but I'm sticking with the superstition here, because honestly, it's starting to become a little bit more fact than superstition.
Yeah, I like that you're going with your gut there. You know, obviously, you know, history is bound to repeat itself time and time again, but I think this is where the wheel is broken. I think, you know, 15 average gang, you look at them back in that invitational, and yeah, maybe map number 1 was a little bit close, but map number 2 was lights out for 15 average gang, and you know, they just look undeniable heading in towards this one. So I think that 15 average gang, they put on a good showcase in that invitational, and they're ready for that playoff spot. So I'm going to have to go with my own gut here and say that this is where the wheel is broken. But let's take a look at the map vetoes here. And something that I saw that I do want to bring up is that Anubis ban that you were talking about. The fact that we're not going to see it. Very, very surprised that it's 15 average gang, the one to ban it out, because they look really, really good on Anubis back at the invitational.
Yeah, they did win it, albeit it wasn't the easiest of victories for them to walk away with, but they did win it against Hell Legion. It was a 13-11 affair, one that they probably should have closed out earlier, but it was one that they still picked up. And instead, they'll circumvent that for Ancient, albeit another map that they played, another map that they won, and honestly, another map they looked extremely good on. But the fact that they ban out Anubis, a map that they have prior showings on, and we'll say positive showings, that's what surprises me, at least from my perspective. I'll take the devil you know versus the devil you don't any day of the week. I like to make the joke that picking up an unknown map is like playing algebra, but in Counter-Strike 2. Unknown variables are never fun, don't do it. But Mirage is that unknown variable, and our first map in this last monthly final.
It's not the first time we've seen Mirage here in Arena Esports, though. It's just been a while since we've seen Mirage. It's going to be fun. I think, you know, for both of these teams, it's going to be important to show some variation heading into the playoffs. And the fact that we've seen so much Vertigo, Ancient, and Anubis, you know, bringing out that Mirage, getting to see, you know, how these teams fare on a map that we don't really get to see all the time here in Arena Esports is going to be a really good factor heading in towards those playoffs versus teams who, you know, we have seen play. I know RGW Esports played Mirage, and they looked very good on this map as well, very comfortable. Map that's been around for a very long time, so to be honest, I expect players to be very, I guess, knowledgeable on how to play Mirage, you know, what to do on Mirage, and, you know, I don't expect either of these teams to have trouble for that map number 1, but it is going to be, I guess, something if we do get down to that Vertigo, because, you know, Vertigo always kind of left up to the decider map. We don't always get to see it, but with this being the last qualifier, heading into the playoffs, I think that this is a good chance for it to go all 3 maps between these 2 teams.
I'm also honestly just very happy we get to see Mirage. I can't believe I'm saying that out loud, but I am happy to see Mirage going into this game. Because honestly, I've been missing it. I wanted to see Inferno as well. Again, I still feel terrible for saying that out loud, because usually as casters, oh my gosh, we're playing Inferno and Mirage again? Oh, I can't believe it, but that's not the case. Especially in this series. Like I said, Anubis has been played in all but 3 events, 2 invitational qualifiers, and now this last monthly final. And more importantly, Ancient has been played about the same consistent rating. Vertigo has been picked as a decider a few times, but very rarely have we gotten to that decider over these monthly finals.
Yeah.
And Overpass has been there a couple times as well. We have seen that, I believe, once, if not twice, through the many, many maps we've played here in Arena Esports.
I don't know about you, but if
I'm
any
feeling
team is
22.
okay, all right, the Chiefs game was last night. Don't need to bring it up yet. But anyways, if any team in the playoffs is watching this right now, bring out Nuke. I want to see Nuke. Come on, in the playoffs, give us some Nuke. I can't remember the last time I've seen this map get played. Inferno, I don't need to see Inferno. It can stay banned for all I care. But Nuke,
So true.
bring it back. I mean, I don't think we've seen a single team throughout throughout this whole tournament play Nuke as a map, but we've seen a lot of Anubis, Ancient, Vertigo, and I think we would like to see something different here, at least from our perspective. And I think Nuke would be a big curveball, not only for teams who have had that chance to, maybe practice amongst each other after qualifying early on. Maybe Easy Money Snipers has been practicing Nuke. If you bring it out in the playoffs, it could be a huge curveball if you know it and other teams don't. But I personally would just love to see it come out. Not going to be today, but again, I'm speaking to the teams in the playoffs right now. Let us see some Nuke, please.
Please let us see some Nuke. I mean, so just a TLDR on what we've seen before. So this nearly exact map pool, but sub out Ancient for Anubis, is what we saw in our first streamed event of this very long series here on Arena Esports. Back when RGW played 15 average gang in the first invitational qualifier of this 4.5 month Arena Esports series, we saw, in order, Mirage, and then Anubis. I believe Ancient was played towards the tail end. I was not here for it because I had to go to class. I believe your boy Q took over for me at that point, and that's where RGW ended up winning the series. But Mirage was a fairly close affair, where, albeit it's been a much different game of CS2 since Mirage was played all those months ago. But RGW still ended up walking away with the victory. Contractually, 15 average took Anubis, and they were more than keen on doing so. The fact that they have beaten a team on a map that they're now banning, a team that's currently in the playoffs, and more into a second series where they remove Anubis, I'm saying Mirage is surprising to be left up.
Yeah, but at the same time, that was a little bit ago, and again, our timeline is a little bit skewed because we've been commentating over these teams since the inception of CS2 in a competitive format. So Anubis earlier on in CS2 compared to Anubis now are two very different maps, and albeit we did see 15 average gang take teams down on Anubis in the past, maybe they're starting to feel teams catch up to them. And the last time they met on Anubis, another team back in the Invitational just previously, it was a close affair. It wasn't one-sided at all. So maybe they're feeling Anubis starting to catch up to them for other teams, and this is their kind of acknowledgement that, hey, maybe there's some work that needs to be done on this map. We can put it away for now, bring it back out in the playoffs, and our Ancient was absolutely undeniable. So let's just make sure that that is sitting at the forefront. Mirage comes out, so curious to see how this team plays on Mirage, but I mean, that Ancient map too, I hope Nevermind kind of scraped through the VOD of 15 average in their last game, because I'm not sure if I remember who 15 average gang were playing, but they did not put up a fight against them inside of Ancient. So it's going to be a tough map too for Nevermind.
Actually, I have a giant spreadsheet that I keep track of all my broadcasts, and I still haven't uploaded that VOD to my little spreadsheet. 15 average played Hell Legion.
Hell Legion, yeah.
I just said that. Completely forgot it. Hell Legion really didn't put up a fight all that much. Let's be completely honest with each other. One map, it was fairly close, Anubis. The Ancient map, it was like, did they show up for map 2? I mean, I'll take it. I got to go snowboarding right after, so I wasn't really complaining. But like, that was a game that you felt like after map 1 should have been maybe the closest series we had all season. And
then Ancient happened.
It maybe lasted an hour and 45 minutes.
So that, just kind of wrapping everything in a bow, it's really Nevermind. TTL, did they do their homework? Have they looked into this ancient pick for 15 average game? Because that homework is available to them. They could go back and watch that VOD and see exactly how 15 average want to play the map. Because if not, then Nevermind are going to struggle. And that goes to show that, maybe a 15 average haven't been as, proficient when it comes to playing on Mirage as they have in the past, then possibly we'll be looking at them to, maybe showcase a little bit of a better playstyle on Mirage than we have seen them on, other maps, like, how close that Anubis was. But there is a very good chance that we go to Vertigo today. That is just because of a couple of unknowns that are in front of us.
Yeah, I'm also a little concerned going into Vertigo, should it come through. There's a severe lack of VODs on any team in the Arena Esports series on Vertigo. If I've done my note-taking properly, Vertigo has been played in the core pool, that being maps 1 and 2 of a series, only once throughout the entirety of this Arena Esports series. Overpass has more commonality, albeit as a third map, than Vertigo has overall. Ancient and Anubis combined have more of a pick rate than Vertigo does on its own. And Mirage has still been played about as often, which that surprises absolutely nobody. But the fact that we're seeing, again, Mirage is a first map, not something that's uncommon, especially with this specific team, albeit one of them, not both. And the fact that Nevermind has a fair few VODs, one from all the way back in October 4th to be specific, one from just last week, and now another to try and send them home. And they've played the game a couple weeks ago against a different team in a fairly close affair that just narrowly saw them miss the playoffs. I said last week could have been our closest series of the season already. This may very well be the greatest to close it out.
Yeah, and I think that has to do with a couple of factors. I think, we've really broken down the map vetoes, but it kind of goes back to what we were saying for the qualifiers. This is their last chance. You got to lay everything on the line right now. You have no chances after this one. So if you lose, you're out. You win, you move forward. And I think that pressure is going to be weighing down on these teams a little bit. And that should, make them play at their best. This is their chance to showcase themselves at their sharpest playstyles, and I think this is, exactly where we expect them to kind of step up to that, plate and show exactly how good they truly can be as a team. And I think, 15 average gang, they showed it to us back in their invitational that they're a brand new team. They're ready for the playoffs. What is Nevermind going to bring today?
Well, we'll see in the pistol round. Mirage, as we've said it multiple times over, is our first in the cards. Nevermind, like we said, has not been seen for a couple weeks. 15 average gang, barring last week, had not been seen since October 4th, so it's been just a little while. 2 picks already for the 15 average game defense as they are locking it down on the ace side, and an onslaught of CT doesn't work for them. Somehow Joker is still alive, gets some help, and will survive. One player left that's in firebox, and there's no way you're escaping. Nevermind. Should dramatically lose the pistol. That's exactly what happens.
Yeah, I can't believe Joker's still alive at the end of that one. I mean, Nevermind. They knew exactly what they needed to do. They had to get the player off of ticket to get this bomb planted. Although 15 average gang, their reaction to that execute over towards A was fantastic. They all rotate from B. They back up their player ticket. They make sure he stays alive, and in a 4v1, I mean, there's just no way you're losing that from Firebox. So, 15 average gang going to start off with pistol, and a couple of M4A1's going to be out here. Ruskov going to hit some nice shots to open that one up with the first blood. It was traded right away, so once we get back into the game, we're going to be able to see exactly where this one lays back down. And hey, we're back. And wow, it's a 3v3. And Spray is in the T-spawn.
And is dead in T-spawn. That's an early grave you didn't want. So Bomb has not been seen, from my knowledge. Because he ran into T-spawn, he most likely did not see it on the T-steps. But you're looking at a 1v3 here. Nade may make it a 1v2, but no, it misses. It goes a little late. The bomb, as you can see at the top right of the map, in the top left of your screen, the orange player with the 0 on top of them is moving all the way over to B with the bomb very, very late. So, this becomes a little bit more of a reasonable clutch attempt But the problem is, as soon as that bomb goes down, it becomes significantly more difficult with the timer against you. I would not be surprised if Joker saves here, but I honestly don't hate going for it.
I mean, like, look at the health on 2 players of Nevermind. If the communication was there for the team, he should know, albeit all 3 players on 3 separate angles, so it is not going to be easy to walk in and find them. He's going to make sure that these M4s don't get acquired, and nothing is picked up. I think this is a huge blunder for 15 average game because you saw the aggression and the confidence coming out of them. I mean, Spray was all the way in the T-spawn, and he loses out on those fights, maybe just getting a little bit too excited inside of this round, and which was already a very expensive round for them. A lot of M4A1S is bought here for 15 average games. The fact that they only walk away with 1, I mean, their economy is in shambles already, and it's only round 3.
That is what happens sometimes when you run away with a pistol round that you have every day of the week, and then you force into M4s and such into Deagles. Those Deagles can be very, very deadly at the end of that fight, and that's exactly what happens. Now, AK's a couple M4s that have been retrieved, and a FAMAS in the cards, but the one M4 that has been picked up, they're boosting from Underpass. This decision mostly goes around a smoke. They'll drop one at their feet and try and play over it. The goal is to try and mask your tracers, because suppressed weaponry does not give off tracers to opponents. However, it doesn't seem like that's going to be the case. Also, volumetric smokes make that a little bit more difficult to find consistently. All in all, could be better for 15 average game, especially in the buy scenario.
Yeah, so it does look like it's going to be an A execute. Oscar here with the Mag 7 finds the first one on the exit. Definitely going to have to be favoring the T's here, as Nevermind going to be looking to explode on a site and overwhelm and overtake, get this bomb planted as quick as possible. It is going to be a little bit of a second before we return back to the game, but once we do, we're going to have to see how this one plays out inside of that. It was a fantastic start there for 15 average game. Even with the bye, they scraped through. We're getting that first blood inside of the execute is always going to help out TTL.
Obviously, the opening pick's the important part, especially when you have lesser weaponry. And if you can find that opening pick out in the open, you can take advantage of it, you can push off of it, maybe steal a weapon, make yourself a little bit more reasonable to walk away with a fight or a round victory. You're looking at a round that you need to pick up here on the other side, though. And there's no guarantees, especially against Nevermind, where we saw it just a couple weeks ago in that last monthly final. Yes, they lost. However, there were more than enough rounds where we said, oh yeah, this game should be over. This round should be over. The series probably could have been over an hour ago. And yet they were still kicking. They still had eco-round victories. That's my favorite part about this series. It's where we've had more eco-round victories than seemingly full gun round victories for the teams that should pick them up.
Will that be the case today, though, for 15 average gang? We do apologize, everybody, that we are trying to get this fixed and back into the game as quick as possible. And once we do, we will be able to, I guess, break down exactly what is going down for this one, what it looks like for, both teams heading into these next rounds. But all boils down to who took that game round 3. Wow. And it was 15 average game to take that round 3. So you forget what I'm talking about. Whatever 15 average game you're going to be working with, I guess they still have a fighting chance no matter what. And that probably comes down to Oscar with Mag 7.
It's that Middle Eastern cuisine. They've been cooking. The lesser weaponry, no less. And it's working here even with an op in hand. First one we're seeing here in this series, and one of few we've seen even in this month since the new year. We didn't see all that many last week on Anubis and Ancient that were fairly short-lived, and a very short-lived round itself. Lambda Core lines up 2, and a 5-player round for 15 average gang. Everybody stays alive, and they keep their economy in check, and they keep their weaponry, and they win it cleanly. That's a momentum round if I've ever seen one.
For sure. Game finally, 2 rounds back-to-back is going to be a huge boost for either one of these teams to accomplish that feat. And Nevermind, they had a chance, but it was snuffed away in round number 3, and now down by 2. How are they going to claw back? Well, it is only going to be upgraded pistols into this round. No utility, no armor.
Already, Big Green going to come out for 15 average gang and spray. As soon as he notices that, he should be flashed back out. But nice shot coming out from Nita is going to be the trade. Refrag there coming out from Oscar with that AWP. Oscar finds a second. The cleanup from Ruskov is there, and that is 3 rounds in a row for 15 average gang.
3 consecutive, and even after losing the conversion round, they're able to pick him up. This is a terrible comeback for Nevermind. Winning that conversion round should put you on the 3-round streak, not a 3-round skid. And 15 average taking full advantage of the very slight mistakes made, albeit in round number 3 that we unfortunately did not see. But now, afterwards, the full reset, pistols not being viable, it seems, for Nevermind, and more importantly, just not having opening picks. They are reinvesting here even without all that much to write about. And more importantly, they're picking up an opening duel. I don't know if Oscar is going to survive there, but it does not seem like the Molotov will extend, so they'll be safe for the time being.
Back away in ladder room, Ruskov opens up for the side of 15 average gang. That is going to equalize almost a second one. Some nice shots coming out, but Love is going to burn alive inside the Molotov. Lambdacor also finds a second one. So there's only 2 members left alive. Make it 1. Lot's going to fall, and that is bombed down now over towards B. So need all. There's a lot of work to do now to bring this round back. 15 average gang, they have awoken on Mirage. And for the map pick of Nevermind, it is falling deeper and deeper into the depths. But hold on, if you find this kill in the Joker, some unfortunate timing, is it going to spot him inside of window room, and all the noise is going to be made. The shots don't land in the corner. Lambdacor unaware of this position. Needle's going to go down, and that is 4 unanswered.
Valiant effort by it all, but at the end of the day, not able to find anything. And why are you lurking all the way over on the A site without any team help, without the bomb, more importantly? You do that in the earlier part of the round, yeah, that's certainly fine. But everybody on your team fell apart, and that's when you have to start to regroup. Then you overextend onto the B site, onto the A site, and you have 1 player on each site, in a 1v2, and one of them has the bomb. I'm questioning what the heck's going on in that camp. That had to be better, and it just was not at the end of the day. Molotov, again, will go into window. Again, will not extend to Oscar, but he will survive here. His teammate, however, Ruskov, does not on catwalk. He doesn't have a saving grace, and Lambdacor needs to step up for multiple, and this time, against just pistols, cannot do so.
Deck 9 rush. People hate it, but I love it. Lot's going to get that bomb down. And this retake is not going to be very easy. A couple rifles going to be recovered for Nevermind. M4A1S and an AK there, but it's Nito with the Deagle to find another one. Peeking in towards Market. Spray finally going to shut that one down. Oscar looking for an angle with his up, but this is such a crucial shot. HE in the corner. That's going to confirm the kill into Love. Down to a 2 versus 3, but Oscar, he needs to start hitting these shots. Spray. It whiffs a couple of his shots with that M4A1S. The USP is going to be able to clean up at range. Almost getting Campbell as well. The Tech 9 going to bring it into a 1v1. Unfortunately, there is no time. And Oscar will not be able to live to tell the tale. A confirmed round there from Nevermind, and they're second on Mirage.
And the fact that the op drops there is all that much more important. Yes, the economy is still okay for 15 average. Yes, they will still be able to invest here, even into the AWP. But for the next few rounds, they are gone. That money is off the table. Nevermind finally pick up a round that they sorely needed. And they do so with just pistols. It's a miracle. The only 2 rounds they've picked up thus far are with lesser weaponry against either full rifles or something similar. They have an opening pick once more, this time with the AWP, but it is quickly responded to. Lot is dispatched of. Joker goes again for an opening duel, and something, at least in the earlier stages, goes the way of 15 average.
Yeah, and that's a AK upgraded there in towards scaffolding. It does look like there's going to be a rotation back over towards B with the bomb, but in a 4 versus 4, it's going to be interesting to see how the AWP versus AWP battle is going to go. We haven't seen that sniper battle just yet on Mirage, so seeing that come out for the T side is going to be an interesting affair for themselves. Lambdacor and B finds the first kill, traded out, and should be the bomb going down, but the reinforcements already here.
takes one. Roscoff looking for a second, though, not expecting the re-engagement around the backside of the site. Needs to be able to find the player in apartments, and as he does so, No Love is forced out in the open, becomes the 1v2, and there's Joker with a flank, not expected by him at all. He, again, in a 1v3, finds only one, and then is quickly dispatched of either from behind or looking a direction he was not expecting. That's 2 times in 3 rounds, unfortunately, and 15 average gang are more than happy to take it. Again, Nevermind have a very decent shot in a round they have weaponry in, and then they lose. And that has to change if they want to have any shot at Mirage, because this is a map that 15 average gang is more than familiar with, albeit from a distance ago, but more than familiar with.
I haven't been too impressed with Nevermind just yet. Their reinvestments have been very bold, and here again, we're going to have to see if this scout's going to play out, especially, you know, the utility behind these deagles should make it a little bit more uncomfortable to use these rifles for 15 average gang, but everything is still TBD. And no information towards mid early on from Nevermind, and I think 15 average gang a little bit of a unknown aspect to that as well, as the scout has position up there, albeit, you know, a lot does go down for Nevermind. This is going to be a 5 versus 4, but you still need 15 average gang to find something.
That's something even we'll have to wait a little bit more if the beginning of the round wasn't already. Heck of a lot of nothing going on there, even without the very slight delay. Again, apologies for some of the technical issues we've been facing. Some of them, of course, unavoidable when our feed lags. It's something we just can't avoid. Apologies. However, the surprising part of all of this, including the tech issues, the maps, is every time that we have some problems on the back end, either the coolest thing ever has happened, like round 3, where they came back from a Mag 7, 3 Deagles, and an M4 against full rifles, or nothing happens, and it's the most expected outcome ever. That's seemingly been the case for a while. Usually you don't see it happen on normal gun rounds, so yeah.
Well, once we get back in, again, apologies for the delays, apologies for the buffering, but we are trying to work on that as best as possible behind the scenes. We are back, heading into this one, 7-2 for 15 average gang, and only one player last alive here. They're on the hunt to remove him, and so they will. Rezo gonna find Lamdecor, trying to jump back into apartments, and Nevermind, they break back in. They find their third.
So they were looking for. It's the round they needed, and they don't allow anybody to get out and save safely. Albeit, it was a valiant effort by Lamdecor, but as soon as he missed the first jump, he was like, yeah, I know it's over. He just accepted his fate at that point. Probably could have taken a fight, made it a little bit more reasonable, but at the end of the day, it is a very much needed victory for Nevermind. It's another scenario where they had a very decent opportunity, but not something that has clearly gone their way multiple times over. Now, No Love in through B apps. We've seen this story multiple times over. A head is seen, Molotov thrown, but flashes don't land properly. Lamdecor safe at the backside of the site, can only go for one. Refrag is there twice over by Lot, and the B site again falls quickly.
And Lamdecor only is good for 1, maybe even 2 sometimes. You would have hoped that the refrag would be there from Albo, but it's not going to be the case. Player Catwalk is dispatched of, and now for the retake in a 4 versus 3. And now with 3v3s, Joker is going to take down Dial. Spray looking to find his way on. Rezo, hand on a swivel, is going to continue this trade fest back and forth. 2 versus 2. And out from Market they go. Lod not able to land a couple of those shots. Low HP on one, but full health in the other. Camel just tucked away back bench. And the bomb is planted for him. Finds the one. Snaps over. The op misses. And Camel for the 1v2 clutch with the bomb down. 4 rounds for Nevermind.
And a question mark for 15 average gang. There's a bucket list, a to-do list when you retake a site. Number 1, clear your close corner. Number 2, clear the site. Number 3, I don't know, check bench. It's not an uncommon spot to hold. It's also not a spot that you had cleared by proxy earlier. You hadn't seen somebody not tucked there. You hadn't seen somebody die from that same position. It wasn't a bait and switch. It was a good play from Nevermind, playing a patient hold. But that 1v2 should almost never go for that direction. It shouldn't. At the end of the day, it just should not. In 15 average gang, that is a round you need to pick up, and a mistake you need to now make up for. You can't hit that second shot with the AWP.
Oh!
We're also seeing our first auto shotty, something I've seen in collegiate series way too much. And a follow-up with the Deagle, almost a second. He's still looking for it, though. And Spray will indeed find it. Sprays are overrated. One taps for days.
Yeah, only one taps here for Spray. He finds 2 with the Deagle. Lambdacor has already had an aggressive stance here, and it seems like that is known. Camel's going to spot it, re-clear it, and make his way into the app to take down Lambdacor. That's the player supports be gone, and you can see 15 average gang racing to reinforce the site, but right now with 58 seconds left, Camel can let them sit and stir with this time draining away. And you lose out on Spray. It's now 2 versus 2, and both of these CTs are split.
Both of them very differently set up, and with different weaponry as well. That's the scary part, in my opinion. You have a Mag 7 on the B site, and an AK hiding on A. I think it's Firebox. I don't know if he's elevated Firebox, but I think he's just hiding Firebox. This could, again, be the greatest decision ever made, or they could be like what 15 average gang needed to be in the previous round and just clear it. Molotov goes under, but they do not clear Firebox. This could be the play that saves them the game. Joker, very slowly swinging, does not hold the trigger, though. Will not deny the bomb plan immediately, but the spray goes through the wall. What is that from Joker? A nice little 1v2 on the A site, and gives them the 8-4 half.
That's good patience. And that's lovely cues from listening to the audio there from Joker. Just waiting for the bomb tap to come through. Knows exactly where that plant is. And that spray through the box, I mean, it's paper thin. So, fantastic win there coming out from the side of 15 average gain to finish the half 8-4. On top of everything, that being a little bit of a force buy in that last round too. It comes down to the XM and the Deagle to open up from Spray, as well as his counterpart on A. So an incredible 3 kills to really put Nevermind in a tough spot.
Now into the pistol. You're looking at Nevermind needing this one, to say the very least. 15 average gang, a stat that I love to bring up, albeit is less applicable here. If a team wins both conversion and pistol in both halves, they have a 78% chance of winning in regulation in professional play. Now, granted, Nevermind won the conversion round back in the first half, but 15 average gang, they had the opening for about 3 seconds, or 15 or so, and then just got 2-pieced back the other way.
Yeah, that's going to push them into a 4 versus 3, albeit one member on Nevermind extremely low when it comes to the health. They're still dispatching of these 15 average game players. Lambdacor now, Glock in hand. Oh, hope and a prayer here to win this one out in a 1v3. Continue the success train here. 15 average game, but lovely shots coming out from Nevermind with the USPs. Love going to find the last one, and a much-needed pistol, like you said. Now to see if they can pick up this conversion round and, you know, bring this down to a 2-round gap.
They have a very good shot. 15 average gang doesn't even seem like they're investing into all that much past just default pistols. It was originally Glocks across the board. It's now 4 Deagles and a Tech 9. So something similar to what we saw from Nevermind back in round 2 of the first half. So not unreasonable for 15 average gang. We've seen a story similar to this before, albeit it was with significantly more rifles, not just 3 and a couple SMGs. But it seems like Vidal will find his 2, disengage, and allow the rest of his team to pick up the pieces. Lot finds 2 of his own, and that'll about do it. Barring divine intervention, it's going to be 8-6.
Yeah, I haven't been too impressed with Nevermind, at least on their T side, but you know, all things considered, when you look at the TC or the CT side of Mirage, Nevermind should be able to, you know, find a little bit more comfort in, you know, the patience that they have shown, even on their T side. I mean, they're a very patient team. They don't really like to get aggressive, and when they do, it doesn't work. So they should know that it is not their best, I guess, foot to be shown here in Mirage. But now they've brought it back to 8-6. They have 3 M4A1S is a whole lot of utility heading into this round as well. I mean, this is potential for them to go 3 rounds in a row and cut this lead down to only 1 round here. 15 average gang. Things looking a little bit worse for Wear as well. When you look at this buy for them, they have 0 utility now.
I'd honestly say I'm not a gambling man, but I'd bet if Nevermind wins this, they have a very good shot at winning the follow-up as well, because 15 Average just doesn't have the money. They don't even have the utility here. And now, it seems like they're just swarming a site that is already completely surrounded by the defensive side, albeit 3 players here rather than the normal 5 you'd like to see, as the other 2 are still occupying B on a hope and a dream. But Plant should go down here fairly shortly if they get the front side of triple. This should be the safest Plant we've seen in Mirage history.
Being planted here. Love swings out, finds the one onto the player inside Palace. Backs on down, waiting for the help to come through, but a lot of aggression being shown here. Oscar in a great spot to just listen to the players. Going to CT, finds one traded. Back and forth. Spray's going to bring it to a 2v3. Numbers advantage for Nevermind, but Spray, such a big kill to find on the cross. 2v2. Both players found on triple. And then with the bomb planted, time just continuing to drain away. You have a kid here, and they are just going to stick it out. Camel defuses without Spray, nor his teammate checking on it. 15 Average gang, what could have been a round win there, kind of snuck away there by the defuse.
And you know what happens? 15 Average gang lost a player in the middle of the round. You could see they just got their 5th player back 2 seconds later. They actually called for the pause after the round started. And the buy timer still exists. You can't resell after the round itself starts, but you can still buy, luckily, in 15 seconds. But that was a little bit too close for comfort. And one that 15 Average gang, if they had their 5th, would have been able to walk away successfully with, because they had that extra angle. Unfortunate for them. And now just a 1-round gap, but they're still able to invest because of the bomb play, surprisingly. Well, good thing I'm not a gambling man.
Yeah, I was going to say. 15 Average gang, here they are. The T side finally bringing out these AKs and putting them to work. Only 2 left alive for Nevermind. 1 in Palace. Looking to push through, and Camel's going to make himself known over onto triple, so that should give the go-ahead to rotate this bomb to B, get it planted as soon as possible, and Spray in such a cheeky spot to find this player. Camel has somewhat of an idea, and swings out is Joker. What a shot from Camel. 73 HP with the bomb planted, and this being a 2 versus 2. Do we go for this? I mean, you have Love rotating all the way through the T-spawn into apps, but it's really down to Camel. Does he know that Spray's going to be on this cross?
No idea. With the spray down, it misses. Spray
Oh, no.
lives up to his name, but not successfully. Lambda Core occupying bench finds 1, tries to split for the 2nd. With the bomb already down, it goes for 2. Camel splits from bench and market. Spray misses 2 opportunities to end the round for 15 Average gang. And Nevermind, blink and you miss it. 4 consecutive rounds to start the second half, and we're dead even at 8 apiece.
Yeah, tied up on Mirage as we switch sides. Nevermind have really kicked it into a new gear, but let's talk about Camel for a second, because that is the 2nd time we've seen Camel clutch in a 1v2. It comes down again to Spray. Do you hit those shots with the Galil, or are you going to whiff? And he whiffs the shots, and they pay the ultimate price of losing the rounds. Camel plays that perfectly, finding the trade onto the player backbench, tapping the bomb. Audio cue forces the 15 Average gang player out into the open, and just a lovely played 1v2 yet again for Camel. So 8-8. Not the best spy coming out for Nevermind, but all the confidence in the world behind them. They have the XM out here. And where is it going to go? It looks like it's heading its way onto Warren's A, but a trade between ops, both players finding a kill.
So the first shot lands onto a player and their teammate through them for about 181 total damage, kill plus 81. And then the second shot returns back through said exploded smoke and does the 100 damage to return. Albeit a positive trade for Nevermind's CT side, but a chaotic one, to say the very least. And you'd at least like your upper back after that. They do still have an XM, which is surprising to see a buy of an XM on the defensive side. Not something we haven't seen already this game, but still
Love is
surprising.
finding so much info through T-spawn. He's already in apps. He's made the full rotation through Palace to make it here.
He's not going to clear it. There's no way he clears Lambda Core. He has no
He
reason
doesn't
to go
need
to
to right
apartments.
now. He has no reason to really over-aggress in any angle. He's just feeding the communication right over towards his team. Look at Spray's going to be watching this. No Love going to be walking right onto the open.
No way.
Spray looks away. The timing is absolutely horrendous. This could absolutely blow things up. That's bombed down. The op trades it. Roskov a second one. So
No way.
what could have been there for No Love quickly back into the advantage here for 15 average.
No, and they've dropped the bomb, and it's a misnomer. That's the issue. The bomb was dropped and seen by the now dead No Love. However, because it was dropped on the A site, both players fully rotated this direction and do not hear the rotation over towards B, so it'll be a late rotation for both teams, but 15 average gang will take the advantage of it. They already occupy market. There's no way this is expected. Lamb Decor wins that fight every day that ends in Y, and spoiler alert, they all do. Lamb Decor goes for 2, finds the round, and 15 average gang are finally on the board in the second half.
That's a big, big round for 15 average gang. No Love had so much opportunity rotating all the way through the map. So patient. It's I guess, a rhythm that we've yet to see for 15 average gang. And as soon as they find those opening duels, brought into a 4 versus 4, and they just kind of sit and wait for a mistake to be shown, and things almost go the wrong way. But some very clutch plays coming out from 15 average gang to find a couple of kills to open up that B site. Now, with the advantage back in their sails, Oscar is going to find yet another opening.
Ooh, and Oscar dropping early. And Nova is really all that remains in terms of primary weaponry for Nevermind, albeit team more useful at the end of the day. Ruskov, does follow up on Etisalat, and that should just about be the round. B site's been cleared. A site isn't even going to be encroached upon by the primary part of 15 average, and you're more than happy to do this engage here. If you are 15 average, that's exactly what happens. They go for some exit frags because the round's basically a foregone conclusion already.
And here we, get to see them try to maybe clean up a few of these kills. The hunt is on for the last remaining members, and should be easy kills here for 15 average gang to close out this round. Double digits about to be picked up. Last remaining member with the Nova. Executioner style. Shot to the back of the head. That is double digits now. 10 rounds for 15 average gang. And Nevermind starting to kind of fall back into their early game woes. Forcing up into situations where they just shouldn't be able to win it. And that is going to allow for 15 average now to string together a couple of these rounds and make this seem a little bit unwinnable, which is not what you like to see, considering this is Nevermind's map pick. We gotta keep talking about that.
Yeah, actually the first time we've really mentioned it, with Ancient being on the card. 15 average won it just last week, and in a fairly convincing fashion. Ruskov finds an opening, finds a second. A site is basically gone, minus the underside of Palace, and that underside of Palace is Nola finding one, escaping with an AWP, and now making this a reasonable round. Finds a second, wants a third, but through the wall cannot find it. It, however, becomes a 3v3 with a weapon available and a more than reasonable clutch attempt by an individual player.
How did they flip this map the way that they have? I mean, bomb is planted, and now the advantage for 15 average gang. This is so scrappy, and they know exactly where to keep their eyes peeled for. AWP, P250, Lambda Core, Palace control in his hands, and right now, I mean, this is the right call to make for Nevermind, but it is just so costly to be playing this way. Another save, or at least the first save that we've seen from Nevermind. And will it be able to happen? Oscar, he knows exactly where the op is. He knows this is going to be a save, so if you lose this gun now, this could be it. 15 average gang, 11 rounds secured.
Somehow
And
not dying to the
Nevermind
bomb.
They're in shambles, TTL.
Yeah, Lot didn't die to the bomb, was like, oh yeah, a player died top A main. Let me go try and grab the gun. Oh wait, my teammate just died with it over towards T stairs. That is a feels bad moment. And not only that, but Nevermind, like you said, it basically falling apart at the seams. You're seeing 4 rounds in a row just go out the window in the blink of an eye. 15 average, win 1, and that streak is no more. Success, gone. Opening kill, however, picked up. Make it 2, and it all nice. 2-piece with the AWP from window. That is the start Nevermind needed for a potential comeback, and a nice pop flash. There's Campbell with a third. Magically, 20 seconds in, it's a 5v2.
5v2 and 15 average gang. Again, I mean, when you think they're at their best, they just get shut down by this Nevermind team. No matter how much we doubt looking to prove us wrong. A lot of map control being shown here by the CT side. Ruskov looking to link back up with his teammates. And at that, flashes out towards mid, trying to at least scramble the minds of these CTs as best as they can before they execute onto the site, which is actually going to be their best call. Rezo is the only one here. There is a member towards Catwalk, but how much help is he going to provide?
You get 2 for 0 here. It becomes a more than reasonable round. Bomb plant, you have a shot. I believe your teammate's sitting inside of ladder. You need this opening pick, but taking that much damage and then losing the fight afterwards. An ace clutch required of Ruskov. Nade will be good, but it will only do a slight amount of damage. Nothing negligible to win the round off of. And that should be just about it. Everybody's starting to swarm. You have help coming through from Catwalk, and 3 players currently surrounding the site. Even if you swing towards bench, there's no way to live through it. That's exactly what happens. Nice repeat there from Rezo, and the round for Nevermind. Finally, back on the board.
Would have been a 1v5. Would have been flashy, but shoulda, coulda, woulda inside of that round. And Nevermind continue to hold on here. Denying 15 average gang of that chance for map point on Mirage. They keep their hopes alive and finishing this one in regulation. Nevermind, it's just, can they find that streak again? Can they string together these rounds like we saw at the start of their CP half? Well, they go for a triple stack onto B. Only 2 over towards A. They're going to leave mid completely wide open. Just leave a player lurking over towards Catwalk. And this might be the right call to make.
Could very well be. Smoke forward, I think, from Oscar. Yes, it was. That's towards the corner. Surprising follow-up. Made not to blow up the smoke, but towards bench. And finally, nobody's there for the first time. And it finally gets naded. Albeit terrible timing for 15 average gang. But one they're trying to take advantage of. Through the cat smoke. They find one player on the other side of it. Ruskov finds that opening. Sees a second bench. And he gets help from a spray for that kill. Last one to the site, dispatched of as well. Blink and you miss it. It's another 5v2. But this one goes away at 15 average.
It's just so back and forth right now. It doesn't seem like either team, you know, it's funny that we're saying this, it being about to go to map point for 15 average game. It doesn't feel like any team is really in control of this game so far, TTL. It is so back and forth on this second half. It's just, it really comes down to that first half being shown from 15 average game, the lead that they got on their CT side, 8-4, moving on. It just gave them enough time to find their footing here on their T side that has made it so back and forth. And now that back and forth affair has just brought them one step ahead once more. 12-9 we go. 15 average gang looking to upset Nevermind on their map pick of Mirage.
And in back-to-back weeks, could very well go, win your opponent's opening map pick, and then take your own. Ancient is still on the cards. Still our second map, and still 15 average gang's map selection. Just as it was last week, just as it was even more successful last week. Swing at an aggressive one, somehow with 3. Rezo uses the 5-7 and finds 3 separate frags. What in the world is that? How does Nevermind stay alive?
I have no idea.
What?
I have no idea what to think. I don't know what to believe anymore. I am a doubter. I live as a doubter. And
well, it didn't actually happen. We're living in a simulation. There's no way that's true.
like, this is just unbelievable. Nevermind. One round, they look like the best there's ever been. The next round, it's 15 average who look the best. And, I mean, Nevermind, once again, they're going to have a shot for this one. That the bomb will be collected by 15 average. So, don't count them out just yet. Might be a 2 versus 4, but we've seen them win out with less.
I mean, you have an ace possibility for Nevermind, and a reasonable round for 15 average. 2 issues here. They are very is the ace side, and you don't have all that much utility. Actually, you have no utility, and an op in 2v4 scenario. No extra opportunities to go back towards B because of the extension over towards the T stairs. You picked up 1 kill already. I thought it was a second, but no. The first does not go their way. However, good situational awareness, seemingly knowing there's a flank on the cards. It doesn't matter. Camel finds the final. The 3-piece ends up being a deciding factor in a full house of frags, puts Nevermind on double digits.
Well, let's compare right now, though, because this back and forth on the second half has been favoring 15 average towards the end of this game, and they will have enough money to buy up once more, so never mind. Still, when you measure the two, they are going to be with the lesser buy, that being you see that MP9, but they've made it work. And now they just need to figure out how to get 2 rounds in a row. That's the big question, and that definitely was on TTL. That was on. Rezo goes down. That's the MP9 gone, but immediately Needle brings it back. And that is one you needed if you're live.
But that's an overextension. Lot ends up being caught out of position. They wanted, but just weren't expecting such a quick refrag attempt from bench. With that, smoke off towards jungle. The op has to look a different direction. Nobody's anywhere near that different direction. What do you do at this point? If you're on this Nevermind side, you're running double op in a 3v4. And one of those 2 ops is alone on the other is alone and towards mid, just disengaged towards the A side. Camel is also just opportunity and is playing forward. He re-aggressed into the partners, but he's still alone and still needs a little bit of a miracle.
You asked what you needed, and that is what you needed right there. For Camel to get aggressive, find that kill, and have a shot making this a 2 versus 2. Although Camel, in a little bit of a pressure situation with this AWP, now dancing on site. Somehow finessing, but it's Needall to go down. They know that Camel is going to be somewhere. When the smoke goes down, it is the cleanup. 1 versus 3 now. Can you clutch up for the map here? No love. 1v3. Forced out of the open. 1v2. Bomb yet to go down. Both members separated, but Oscar is watching it with the op, and Oscar puts it away. 13-10 for a map win out of 15 average game.
What the heck was Spray doing? You witness somebody cross the market window and think, oh yeah, let me walk up to the market door and smoke it and then look a different direction. How in the world do you escape successfully? And you're lucky your team had the refrag for you, but a quality map overall for 15 average gang. A little bit less close than it was last week on Anubis, but still a close affair on their opponent's map pick. It was a very good showing from Nevermind, but again, just too close for comfort for 15 average gang if they want to escape this monthly finals victory. Ancient is not an unreasonable map for them to pick up, and Vertigo, that could be anybody's game.
The whole question is, again, it brings it back to how much homework has Nevermind done going into this last qualifier, because there is VOD on this 15 average gang's Ancient, and if there's anything that they should be prepared for, it is going to be this map coming up next, TTL. So, 15 average game, they come out swinging in map number 1, a big map on Mirage to take away your opponent's map pick, but never mind now. Going to have to do it in the exact same affair.
Well, map 1 done and dusted. Not so much of a quick affair as 15 average gang were hoping for. Nevermind pick Mirage, but just like last week, they cannot win it. Ancient on the cards. Still very much a reasonable map for Nevermind to pick up. Not something that they've seen in many, many series beforehand, especially just back in our last monthly final. But it's one they need. If they lose this, they're out, and there's no LCQ in Counter-Strike.
No LCQs for that second chance. This is it. This is what you're playing for. A spot in the playoffs, or you go home packing. All of this work to be done for nothing. And the big, storyline that we've woven together inside of this series is the fact that we've never seen a team from the Invitational win out and make it into the playoffs. It has always been the team from the open qualifier. Well, here, 15 average game, they have a chance to break that wheel and do it in 2 now with Ancient coming up next. But we can look back at Mirage at the highlights that we do have. Exactly, what we saw happen inside of that map number 1, because it was one of the maps of all time. I will say, TTL, that is without a doubt, but from start to finish, it was anything but comfortable for both of these sides. So back and forth at times when you thought a team had an advantage, they lost the round. At teams when you thought they had a disadvantage, they won the round. So it's just going into this Ancient, do you really feel comfortable if you're either one of these teams?
I think the only 2 rounds I really care about are 2 Nevermind round victories. It was round 2 and round 22. The first of those 2 was the clutch attempt with lesser weaponry after losing the pistol. The second was when they had a 5-7 sprint into A main on a pop flash and find 3 separate people. Those are the only 2 rounds I care about. That honestly spells out the remainder of this game. Even with heroic sets of rounds, they still can't win it, and they lose by 3.
Yeah.
It's a feels bad man moment kind of thing. But when you look at it and say, Nevermind had more than a reasonable shot at winning this game. They just could not win the rounds they should have at the end of the day, and had a very good opportunity at winning the rounds they had no business at doing so, but there's just not enough of those in a game.
No. Not enough rounds where you shouldn't win, but will win to definitely take out. You can't always bank on those clutch situations there. That moment right there, the trade with up kills was insane, but albeit it was still around the 15 average. Kang did not give up. They pumped the brakes. They win it out, and they take this lead at 9-8. And once they took this lead back, they did not, I guess, turn around and give a chance for Nevermind to close this lead once again. They just kept on growing and growing here for 15 average. If you give them an inch, they're going to take a mile. And I do agree with you that if Nevermind are going to send us to a vertigo and have that chance at making it into the playoffs, they have to figure some way out to string together and change some rounds inside the map. And yeah, that round from Rezo right there, that is just maybe plays you would like to see them do more, but with rifles in your hands in the past or in future rounds.
That's arguably cooler the second time around. That's all I'm saying. I saw it the first time and I was like, wow. And then I was actually able to witness it all the way through. A wild first game. I think that's what we can cap this one off as. Not to be expected, not to be completely undesired for Nevermind, but still one they will very much want back. They pick Mirage, and like I said, they just cannot come back and win it. Ancient is on the cards. A much needed second map victory for Nevermind, where they are out of this series. A break on the cards for us as well. 5 minutes, and it's Ancient and Nevermind's last chance to go to the playoffs. First map victory, and a very, very difficult one for 15 average gang. Back-to-back weeks, back-to-back 20-plus round first map affairs, but still, back-to-back first map victories. More importantly, we can take a look at the numbers behind the first map. In Mirage, it goes 15 average's way, and more off consistency than anything else here, Seymour.
I think there's a couple things to talk about when we're looking at Nevermind, especially in their individual performances rather than, I guess their team performances, because at times we would see that their team performance excelled for them back on that barrage, and they were making some plays to win rounds that they really shouldn't have. But when you look at the scoreboard individually heading into Ancient now, your opponent's map pick, you are going to have to see an improvement coming out from, LDT, No Love. Rezo at times was having his moments, but you could say the same for everybody, that they had their moments, but they need to find that consistent ground to perform, quite like some of these players on 15 average gang who are winning rounds that they really should have. Nobody on 15 average gang going at least negative in their KDs. Everybody on Nevermind, though, having a little bit of a struggle throughout that map number 1. But heading into map number 2, Ancient on the horizon, a staple pick for 15 average gang. Can Nevermind step up, kind of level themselves up, and kind of take this to send us to Vertigo?
I mean, to understate the obvious, they have to. But the problem they're going to run into is they are playing on a map that 15 average has experience on just in the last 8 days, or 9 days, and more importantly, a successful experience on. They played just 15 rounds against Hell Legion. They won 13-2, and it didn't even look that close in the Invitational Qualifier. If any team is going to streak of losing a previous event and then coming back in the Invitational Qualifier for a second time and winning the monthly final, or just being the only Invitational Qualifier team to then win the monthly final of that segment, it will be 15 average gang. Yes, Nevermind has a very decent shot at still winning this, but it depends on how good their Ancient is. And from what I just saw in Mirage, I don't know if they're going to have enough of a reasonable shot, because I said Hell Legion had a very decent shot at Ancient just last week, and then they got 13 two-pieced. So I don't have all that high of hopes, even though I really want to see Vertigo again.
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody wants to see a very competitive finish going into this map number 3, hopefully for Vertigo. But when you're looking at this in terms of how much of a journey 15 average gang have been on, and I guess what expectations you'd like to see from a team going in towards the playoffs, for 15 average gang, if you want to look like the better team going into the playoffs, feel like winning it in a 2-0 fashion, there's no better way to do it. When you want to look like there's still work to be done, this is when things can be left up to question and possibly sent to a map number 3 for 15 average gang. So, albeit we are saying that, we'd like for this one to be competitive. Everybody wants to see a map number 3 here when we're looking at a game between these two. Nobody wants to see a one-sided affair, but in terms of 15 average gang, what they would want, I'm sure they'd feel more comfortable heading into playoffs up to 2-0.
So Nevermind has played this map fairly recently, and they have won it. That was against Flame back in our 3rd Invitational Qualifier, but this is a whole different beast, and one that seems to be much more successful off the bat, and one that will be. Ruskov just barely the final kill while blind, but he will find it. 15 average find the pistol, and a rush of B, ever so classically, works just that much better.
Yeah, that's a fantastic round for 15 average gang. I said it back in our Invitational for this month, and I'll say it again now. I think 15 average gang are one of the better teams that we have in the pistol rounds. I mean, their sheer force that they execute with, all 5 members working together with these pistols to overwhelm with numbers. That is what kind of gives them such promising lead at the start of these games. So now for the conversion, they lost it back on Mirage. Here, they definitely look like they're doing more of a search and dominate tactic together once more. All 4 members going to push through a main, take control of Shelf, and even going to proc Joker over in towards Donut with this Mac 10. So just kind of fishing for a mistake, fishing for some aggressive that they can overtake.
Like this. I also like the boost from Rezo. That's a new thing we haven't seen, at least not thus far, albeit we've only seen 1 round there with B, so we haven't had the opportunity. But even if they did, it doesn't really matter, at least not as it seems. Mac 10's fine too. Seems like the bomb's coming this way, but I don't know if they've cleared the tree. That may be the determining factor. Where's the sound cue? Where's that opening kill? Patience is a virtue for Raze. He'll find 2, but nothing more. and a 1v3 now on the cards. Bomb is down, round still more than reasonable for Netall, but they need a prayer, and one answered quickly. First shot misses. Oscar will not.
It's a good
Two
swing.
back-to-back for 15 average.
That is a great swing mechanically from Oscar, just to not allow that, I guess, initial lineup for the Deagle to take it, just understanding that, you know, they don't know exactly where Needall is, so approach every angle with caution, and Oscar does just that. So the conversion round for 15 average gang, something that they couldn't do back on Mirage, but right now on Ancient, you expect that from them, this being, you know, the map that they wanted to go to. But Nevermind are going to buy quad MP9s here, run it down mid, and Joker first of all.
Nice opening pick. I said Nevermind had pretty good history. They also have some pretty bad history. In the final that they lost 13-4 on this map alone. And if this trend continues, it may very well be a follow-up loss here. And MP9's a second, so a reasonable most range LDT needs a second, gets reswung, somehow still does damage, but cannot find the kill they were looking for. And a resmoke of the CT, Spray gets it down before the smoke plumes, and they'll find a 1v3 in their favor. Goodbye.
Yeah, 15 average gang. What a way to clean that one up. I mean, again, we talked about it back on Mirage a little bit, TTL. Gonna say it again here on Ancient. And I hate to continue to just kind of batter down on this Nevermind team, but these buy-ups that we're seeing from them, you know, going for that quad MP9 is just so bold. And now they're going to do it again. A force buy into an MP9. I'm just not a fan of all of these options that they're bringing to them. It's just, it seems like they have no unison right now as a team.
That one meme is the why is this? Albeit he overpronounces it, I can't, but my question is why? Why overinvest around you don't have a reasonable shot at winning? Do seem to be fairly successful here, and they make it a 1v3. There's my answer. That's why, I guess. Ruskov's down a 1 versus 3, albeit an AK in his hands, a reasonable round to pick up, and only one AK on the other side. The issue is, they have 3 players in 3 very different positions. They have bomb control in B main, and he has no extra information to work off of other than cave control as it stands, and Rezo has picked up an AK. I don't think he's seen Ruskov, but process elimination will tell you every day of the week exactly where he is, as will your crosshair. Nevermind, round is a very suspecting force. And they only save over 1. How do they only save over 1 AK? What? No way.
So the rounds that, again, that they shouldn't win, they're winning. The rounds that they should win, they're not winning. And at this point, Nevermind, okay, I'll bite the bullet. I'll say, like, you know what? Force up. If you're going to win the rounds, force up every single time. But to believe in this Nevermind team now, I need to see them find 2 rounds in a row here. This is an important round for them.
And they've lost the opening pick. Magically, as soon as they actually have weaponry and should win, they get dust in the opening duel and already have a significantly lower likelihood of winning the round. And that smoke was just blatantly missed. When it replumes, it'll be around the far side of the cave entrance and make things much more difficult. Camel's playing on the other side of their own smoke, and close range with Spray, albeit not the most helpful scenario considering their current health pool, but still reasonable. And a 4v3 is a terrible round for them at Camel. How in the world do you live through that? He is still alive somehow. Never mind. He's dead. There we go.
Spray just cleaning things up.
What is going on?
Again, it's just like, where does the consistency come from Nevermind here? They're now down 4-1 instead of Ancient. They had that chance going to the rifle round. I mean, they get aggressive, they drop their utility, but again, they don't smoke off. They don't smoke off mid. Instead, they Molotov it to hopefully back down 15 average gang, but that hasn't worked yet. The average gang don't want to back down. They're going to meet you there, and off of these opening duels, if it's just sheer aggression, the 15 average gang, more often than not, are going to win these rounds.
Close range though, Deagles. It is a small firing line, but with semi-automatic weaponry, it's never that easy. Swing with the Galil will close it out. Let them do. Oscar finds 2, and that 5-7, it needs to step up for multiple frags again. We've seen it Once back on Mirage, once already here in a clutch round, but this one seems a little less than likely for Camel. And I'll be surprised if Camel lives, much less even finds a kill. Oscar, they haven't cleared this just yet. Will they? Yes, they will. Ruskov does it. 15 average gang, 5-1 already on Ancient.
Something we expected, but I hope to see a little bit more here from this Nevermind team. So, into the next round, you're going to buy up 4 M4A1Ss. 5 smokes, but when you look at everything else, it's not going to be too much on player number 3. XM going to be in the hand of player number 2. Where's that XM going to be? It's going to be all the way into towards cave.
Made through. This is creative. Same thing we did before, but a ready smoke a little late isn't really going to matter. Joker still walks through it. Finds a kill, but will be dispatched. I'm not expecting it at all, and understandably so. But at this point, never mind. It's more M4s, and the aforementioned XM probably shouldn't need to invest into. That may still very well work.
I mean,
and a
it's
question
cave.
mark as to where 15 average is going with this. They've split B, they've taken B main control fully, and now the site itself, and they've lost 2 picks, and just like that, the round basically a foregone conclusion. Point blank range, and the XM loses that?
I mean, I wish I shot like that against XMs, but if it was me,
What?
I'd turn that corner. I'm getting one tap by that thing, but gives him a chance. Lemdekor is going to slowly walk through the smoke. 2 versus 2. And nobody here to stop this bomb from getting planted. It's going to be a retake from the CTs. Nevermind, all they have to work with is 1 kit and a flash.
Oh my gosh. Low HP, the Molotov goes. That's more sound cues. The nade may very well kill him from distance, and it will. Follow-up could very well be there. Lemdekor point blank, he misses. Second opportunity still very much there, but do they know Oscar's waiting on the site? Yes, he does. LDT finds both kills on low HP, and has the kit to lock in the round. Close, but no cigar for 15 average gang, as Nevermind finally put their second.
That is a big round to win there. A big clutch coming out from LDT. 1 versus 2. You thought maybe that Molotov and the nade was going to do enough to give a little bit of an edge to 15 average gang, softening up their opponents, but the clutch factor for Nevermind is something that we did see at times on Mirage, and I'm glad to see it again here on Ancient. So won't be the best buy yet again for them, still scraping the bottom of the barrel, but now you look at 15 average gang, and they're starting to be whittled down again. I mean, these rounds have been close, albeit 5-2. It has been a very expensive trading of rounds back and forth.
And just like that, it's Nevermind not being on the B site. They have, what, Camel sitting in CT, they have cave control, and that's about it. They actually have a second player CT. This isn't unreasonable, but Oscar actually pieces the second rotator, and that may very well be it. Camel needs to step up for multiple and can only escape with 1. Nevermind need to save here. Even the MP9 would be better to hand over into the next round. Benefit is, the bomb's still in B main, and it will take a second to be planted. So a 4v2 is retrievable considering the time restraint, but it's still probably supposed to be a save here. To make things worse, they have mid control. Somehow running with your knife out and you lose the fight. That's okay, bro.
I mean, 2v3. Members of 15 average are low, but issue is time now. They're gonna maybe make something out of this one. Smoke to at least cut off 1, but Oscar is gonna be up close and personal with that up, and say it ain't so. Oscar just sends them packing right away. No shot at looking anywhere close to that bomb site, so never mind. They're going to lose yet another round, and I don't know what to feel about it either, and I don't know how you feel about it, TTL, but it just seems like there's no confidence sometimes for this Nevermind team as soon as they have the buy to actually set up on a site. They are very passive with that B site hold, and they're allowing so much space for 15 average games to just gotta walk up on them and then have numbers for these engagements.
That's my favorite thing about this, is Nevermind is the most passive team ever as soon as they have primary weaponry, but as soon as they pick up deagles, like right now, they're swinging everything, and fairly successful with it, albeit this round is a little bit of a misnomer, not the case, not successful. Small problem.
But in the past, they have found succession with those deagles.
Hold the phone. 2 things. Number 1, there's a 5-7 in B main. Number 2, the bomb is in B main. they left it there again. It may not matter for the longevity of this round, but it may cost them a gun. There's no way you expect somebody to be sitting B main, and you don't. Joker dies, no love is there, and everybody's going to be like, oh wait, we need the bomb. It's a 4v1, so it should still be a round victory, but maybe a problem that you weren't all that much expecting, and no love is blind, staring at the sun. Uh-oh. He's repositioned.
Okay. Now he's surrounded. How do you dig yourself out of this grave? Nade over, finds another kill. Oh, okay.
Oh my gosh.
Oscar has not been missing with this up, and if this is how Oscar is going to be playing heading into the playoffs, I am very excited to see 15 Average Gang have a rematch maybe against RGW or even against Easy Money Snipers. It's going to be fun to see this 15 Average Gang play against some of these teams in the playoffs, if this is how they're going to be playing.
Surprisingly enough, 15 Average Gang is resting on the shoulders of one man. We saw this in the previous game where they were very consistent across the board. Into round 20 alone, they had a spread of just 4 kills between their top and 2 bottom fraggers. Here, not so much the case, it's almost 8, just through 9 rounds in a quick spray. There's the re-engagement, there's the confidence, and yet they're just quickly dispatched of afterwards. 2 for 2, make it 3 for 2 as Ruskov finds another in through mid. And just like that, a completely different round, but Joker looking the wrong way. What is he looking at? He's staring at the box, scoped it up. I can't believe he loses that fight. Well, no, I can. I don't know why he loses that fight.
Well, 2 versus 2 nonetheless, and this bomb is walking up on A, so you're looking at No Love to sneak his way into Temple, but he has to time this one right. Maybe find somebody on the exit or wait for this flank to come into fruition, and this flank is going to be watched. They will meet each other. Lambda Core, who has been lights out at these range battles, beheads Camel, makes it a 1v2, forces No Love out into the open. He's just going to drop the smoke right on the bomb. Forces the swing from Lambda Core, but won't land the shot. And Lambda Core finds 2 to close it out. 8 rounds for 15 Average Gang.
A brief look into the past. The first half of Mirage ended 8-4 in favor of 15 Average Gang. And that was them starting on the CT side. I'm scared for their CT side when they go on to their CT of their own map selection, and Nevermind still hasn't shown all that much in terms of winning gunfights, much less being able to retake sites. The retakes have been good on one occasion, and that was a clutch attempt by LDT that had no opportunity of being shut down, and oh my goodness, the A site has already fallen. They have a donut smoke already up, pre-placed, and magically enough, oh, they've taken a little bit too long for it to plume, but I don't think it's going to matter. They've already found one into donut, they found a second with a nade, and the round's over. It's a 4v2 against 2 MP9s.
Nevermind, just continue to throw their heads at the brick wall that is 15 Average Gang, and nothing's able to break through at all. Last 2 members get sent to the Shadow Realm, and that's 9 rounds now for 15 Average Gang, looking to truck their way through Ancient once more here inside of these qualifiers. They have the playoffs on their minds, and they have their sights set on victory, TTL. Nothing more, nothing less. They just want to win. And Ancient, it just seems like it's their superpower when it comes to their arsenal of artillery that is heading into these qualifiers. They're Ancient, it is sharp, and it is scary.
You know, it is 8:45 p.m. right now in Dubai, and I'm pretty sure that 15 Average Gang realized they have a late dinner date. Because there's no way they are playing like this, like a completely different team, without having something to do later into the night. No Love somehow circumvents it. He survives on the site, but he's been completely missed. 2 ships passing in the night, or through the smoke, as the A site has been taken again. And the B site didn't mean anything. What in the world?
Much attention onto Spray over towards B, and the bomb was walking onto A freely.
Wow.
I mean, when you have that much power, when you have that much focus on you, there's so much you can do right now if you're 15 Average Gang, and now they are just spread across the map doing everything that they would love to do to just close it out 10-2. Time is ticking away. No Love going to do his best here. There's just no time, and he doesn't even have the kit, so congratulations, 15 Average Gang, for one hell of a round. One hell of a half, I'd say.
Yeah, and if only there was an extra 9.5 seconds on that bomb. So close, but so far. That was a round that just looked so all over the place. A sprint through B that works. A sprint onto A where nobody's there. You cross onto B when it's not fully occupied, and you escape the half with a 10-2 victory. Now, again, We saw 15 Average Gang play this map quite literally 9 days ago. And guess what? They had the exact same finish in the first half. 10-2 on their T side. I am so scared because that game ended 13-2, and this pistol may very well end it. Although, hey, opening pick, that's a good start.
Yeah. I remember back to Mirage when you had to swap sides for Team Nevermind. They were able to put 4 rounds in a row, but I mean, this 15 Average Gang team, they are angry, and they are playing with such a fierce pacing at the moment. 3 versus 3, low HP on the Ruskov, and Needall has made his way all the way around on the B site, and that's going to lead to a bomb plant.
A good idea, but not a successful one. Joker sitting there with his knife out. I don't know what the plan is there. And Ruskov down to 2 HP from his previous fight from sitting on Catwalk. There's Joker, right back. I thought he was AFK for a second. No, he's fine. But I don't know if this round's going to go all that conveniently in his direction. Finally, we'll see Nevermind win a pistol. This will be their first and possibly only in the series. And I gotta say, that's... no, hold up. They won the second pistol last game. I completely lied. I thought 15 Average won both. Hey, they'll win, what, 2 of 3 or 2 of 4? That's okay.
It's not too bad, if you ask me, right now for Nevermind. So it's just... The whole thing is... Yes, they can win with pistols. Yes, they can win with MP9s, MAC-10s, Scouts, even at times. Maybe even an XM, throw it into the mix. But when you get the rifles in the hands of 15 Average Gang and the rifles in the hand of Nevermind, 9 times out of 10, it has been 15 Average Gang winning those rounds. So how is that going to change heading into this T side? When you're backed into a corner, match is going to be paused. I'm sure this is a timeout for... I'd say for Nevermind to have that chance to talk amongst each other on what to do next, TTL, but it's just the big question of, can they kind of back it up right now? Because every time that we've seen them pick up their rifles, it has been thrown away in a matter of seconds.
You know, I think it would be so poetic that the game would basically end on Nevermind throwing away a round that they should win every day of the week. I just think it would. I really do. Because that's basically been the sum up of this series. Nevermind has had a more than reasonable opportunity at winning about 60-70% of these rounds. The other 30% are where they have no shot, and conveniently enough, that 30% is where they're winning most of their rounds. This is a concerning showing for them, though, because going into round 14, basically every round from here on out is a must-win, especially here. If you lose a second round to a half, your economy's broken, you are so out in the open and exposed that you have no easy shot at bringing it back, and usually in the first half, that's fine. You have more than enough opportunity, you have more than enough time to bring that back. Sometimes in the second half, that's okay as well. However, here, when you're already down by 7 rounds and your opponents are as many rounds away from winning as you have won already, well, you don't have that same flexibility.
So here we go. Next round up, TTL. A little bit of a force up from 15 Average Gang as well. They're going to meet this head on. Their T side. Nevermind. 3 MAC-10s, 2 AKs. A whole lot of utility to back this one up. Full steam ahead is Camel. He's going to beat them out to the site, and he's not going to stop there, but a beautiful shot with the Deagle, the Mag-7, and back to the Deagle yet again. Joker finds 2, and with the help of Oscar, they have shut down Nevermind at the gates.
Oh no, it may be over. Nade through, that'll blow up the smoke, but a second one plumes as soon as the first one's gone. And a Mag-7 through the smoke, that could very well take out most of the health pool. It mostly does. And a 4v2, an AK has been retrieved, as has a Mag-10. Your 5.7's still in the cards, and so is your shotgun. Nevermind has lesser weaponry than 15 Average Gang does, and more importantly, less players. This may be over.
This could be it for Nevermind. Everything looks good for them. In the blink of an eye, you miss it, and it is already 4 versus 2 in the Mag-7. Oscar, no way he doesn't get this kill. It's going to be secured. Swings out, finds no love, and that's 3 from Oscar. A full house between Oscar and his counterpart at B. 11 rounds now for 15 average gang. They win the conversion here in the second half, and that should be not only the buy up for Nevermind being long gone, but the confidence as well behind them.
It is poetic. After further review, it is poetic the way they lose it. Now, they have no weaponry, and they're holding W like they have a small level of artillery, and finally it doesn't work for them. Tech 9 will go well into Cave. An AK is retrieved, but that seems to be all that's going for them. Deagle alone at the bottom of B main. They have the AK in Cave that looks like it's going to be cleared, but no, they don't look that general direction. Wait a second, blink and you miss it. It's a 2v2. Bomb's making his way over to A, and Joker will hear the rotation. This is going to be late. 15 average gang will have to retake.
It's a little bit of a bait here from Nidal. As soon as he picks up the AK, he knows the read onto Joker. That's going to make this a winnable situation for Nevermind. Their map chance still on the line here. Lambda Core, the clutch master. This is going to be a tough one to wrap your head around. Nidal just tucked away through mid, waiting for this player to walk in front of him. Lambda Core, check this angle. He drops down with the snap. 5 HP into the 1v1. No Love with the bomb. Smoke onto sight. No Love holding the angle, but he doesn't know how low he is. Still collects the kill. And that keeps Nevermind alive.
That was still more than reasonable to pick up, though. That was the scary part. Nevermind, bring it back. A 2v5 with a Tech 9 and a Deagle. The AK retrieve turns into 3. And somehow 15 average gang end up losing the round they should have won. They win the round they should have lost, and these last 2 rounds basically sum up this series thus far. I think that's a very nice way of capping it off.
A fantastic way to win things off for Nevermind. Clutch scenarios yet again going your way, but do it again. All I ask right now from Nevermind. String together a couple of these rounds, start to crush this 15 average game by, but again, they bring out a similar one that they just won with rounds ago. Meg 7, MP9, Deagle 5-7. Won't take it away from them, especially when you have Oscar sitting on this angle with the Meg 7 in hands.
5-7 misses every bullet. Both players miss a small magazine, and somehow it goes for a 1-for-1 trade like both of them hit headshots. I don't know how in the world that ends up going the way it does. Mag 7 now steps up for one of their own, and an AK can now be retrieved. The Mac 10 will shut that opportunity down. Close once more, a 3v3, and Nevermind locking in when they should.
Joker and spray here with the Eagles. That Molotov is going to burn him alive, and Nidal is going to shut him down. MP9 and a Deagle for the 5th round. And a Nevermind to all they need to do to shut it out. Won't be able to find the first kill there onto Lambda Core, but Nidal refrags, swings out. And look how passive they are on these angles, allowing this Deagle to swing, allowing him the time of day, but LDT puts it away. 5 rounds here for Nevermind.
There's another. They're still in it, albeit way too close for comfort in yet another round, but they are still very much in this game. The problem remains for Nevermind, because these rounds are ever so close. Look at their money. Even if 15 average gang only wins 1 of these rounds, Nevermind will have no cash left over. 2,900 is the highest amount of money they have left on a single player after back-to-back round victories, and they need more. To say the very least, they need more. And they just don't have it. Now, because of that, Mag 7, MP9s, and Deagles are still somewhat reasonable to win a couple of these rounds, and that's what makes this scary. A swinging through Cave, even as they clear one side, the other one still very much occupied, and Joker finds one. He has a teammate for a second, and this round now looking for 15 average gang rather than mostly against them.
Oh, but Nevermind, still not going to give up here. Rezo and Nidal, they double down. It's no love to find a third, and they found their way onto the site. Bomb isn't here, though. Have to go collect it. Oscar just hiding in Cheetah with this Mag 7, and no way he does it again. No way he gets away with it once more. Still a player lurking in through mid, but the digits are getting punched in.
Bomb will be planted. A 2v3 still reasonable, but CT occupied. They just rush straight through it. They want to try and go for these frags as quickly as they can. One picked up, but it becomes a 1 versus 2. Low HP for the AK that currently occupies CT. The rotator is B main, but there should be a sound cue, and Oscar knows it. Now as he swings, he needs this kill, but the aim punch from having no armor at the beginning of the round ends up being his Achilles heel, or his Achilles chest. 15 average gang, again, so close, yet so far as Nevermind go 3 in a row.
3 rounds, quite costly, but 3 rounds that you needed. And 6 rounds now acquired for Nevermind. It's a long road back. You're going to need 6 rounds in a row if you want a chance to end this in regulation. 7 to put it away. And Nevermind are actually down a player? Are they playing 4 versus 5 in this round?
They had a DC at the beginning of the round. Oh, no.
So, oh no, this is going to be so devastating to them playing this one out, especially considering they already didn't have a full buy.
That's so bad. You don't have a full buy, and finally 15 average gang has more than just SMGs, and you don't have the money nor the players now to pick it up. Come on, Camel now swings a little late, and the refrag from Spray shuts him down. 2v5, and Nevermind has a player DC, and they collapse directly thereafter. Flawless from 15 average gang. With the last player who's DC'd sitting in spawn, they'll be able to cap him off fairly quickly, and we'll head into a tech pause as 15 average gang goes on to match and series point.
Very unfortunate for Nevermind, but now it's got to be 6 rounds in a row for overtime to be procced, and 15 average gang, they are just in such a strong position. Even in rounds that are unwinnable for them, they look like they still have that feeling that they can win it all. So they're not going to pause the match for too long. It's already unpaused, and Nevermind are just going to play it out. Roscoff runs it down mid, finds Need All, 5v3, no love in a cave. They get wiped away, and it's all down to Camel. Dancing, spinning, he's done. Nevermind, they're sent packing in 15 average gang. We will see you in the playoffs.
15 average gang, the only team to get a second chance at invitational qualifiers. Their first was all the way back on October 4th. The only team to then win said second opportunity at invitational qualifiers, and the only team from an invitational qualifier to win said monthly qualifier. They will be your 4th and final playoff team here in the Arena Esports CS2 series. And I gotta say, there is no team more deserving at the end of the day. They take it 2-0. Close, but no cigar on Mirage, and nowhere near for Nevermind on Ancient. 2-0, 15 average are in the final 4.
Almost similar to what we saw from them back in the Invitational for this month, and now heading into playoffs. Yeah, I mean, it's going to say 2-0, but I don't think that 2-0 really tells the story right now for 15 average. Yes, they win it out, and on Ancient, they win it out 13-6, but Time to Light, there's still a lot of work to be done for this 15 average team. You know, in rounds that they should win, they're not winning it. And altogether, their map pool does seem like it is down to, you know, hopefully you win your opponent's map pick, and then you win your map pick on Ancient. Heading into the playoffs, I really want to see this 15 average team not really get complacent inside of these winnings. They've gone back-to-back now in wins on stream, and heading into the playoffs, they need to look at this and look at their mistakes that they've been making, work on those mistakes, because now the teams that are waiting for you inside of those playoffs are a step above, you know, teams that have already taken you down in the past. So for 15 average game, there's no time to get complacent. Congratulations, you're in the playoffs, but there's still some work to be done.
Yeah, and luckily they had some work done between now and all the way back in October. Remember, it is a completely different game of Counter-Strike 2 between now and our first ever broadcast here in the Arena Esports series powered by Etisalat by EN. I gotta say, this is a little bit more cohesive for 15 average. Not only that, but they played much better in the Invitational qualifier. They took the monthly qualifier by storm. Their Ancient is a good map, but it is not a map they can individually rely on as they move into the playoffs. Everybody else can also play Ancient. This is not a map that is unobserved by any of those three teams. Every single one of them actually played it in their monthly finals, and Anubis is still one they're most likely going to have to contend with. If not that, then maybe Mirage again, and we saw them lose that to RGW. I'm concerned for them on many fronts. I'm happy for them with a good monthly finals victory, but I am concerned on a couple fronts. Anubis wasn't great. Mirage needs to be improved, and against playoff quality teams, they may have some difficulties when map pools start to grow.
Yeah, I think one thing is to be said is that, as I've continued back in our pre-show, it's something to be talked about that 15 average gang has played more matches in the tournament than anybody else that's in the playoffs right now. I'm not really sure if that is something to be said about maybe Team Poggers, who were through the open qualifier, how much they have played throughout the months, as we didn't get to see them on stream as much as the other ones. But with that experience with them playing on in this tournament more than everybody else, it should give them at least a little bit of an edge. But at the same time, it gives everybody else a little bit more FOD to look at too, TTL. So it's kind of a double-edged sword for this one. Looking back at Ancient, it is a very comfortable map for this team for sure, but it's not going to win you series against what is coming up next in the playoffs. So
Nope.
Hopefully they can broaden their map pool as we do close out this season. But I do want to talk about a couple too, and something I'm really excited as we are looking back through all of these highlights. Spray, Lambda Core, and Oscar. What a game from them. Joker even. I think that individually, all 5 of these players had a fantastic day. I think Oscar on his AWP is going to be very fun to watch in the playoffs. I think Lambda Core and his entry potential is going to be something that I'm really excited to see evolve heading into towards, what is next for this team. But all in all, the firepower behind 15 average gang, it is crazy. And their individual skill might be enough to upset a couple of these teams in the playoffs.
Yeah, collective individual skill, when it turns into team cohesion, is a very dangerous factor for a lot of teams. My concern that's dangerous for them is they don't have it when they need it in clutch scenarios. And when they should be winning some of these rounds, it turns into small mistakes. Now, obviously, it's something they could VOD review. Maybe Mirage was a little bit of a misnomer. Maybe Ancient was a couple rounds they got a little bit too confident in. Hey, we won 10-2. We're going to be okay. Possibly something they don't have to worry about going to playoffs. It could be the only time this has ever happened in the history of the team. Albeit, probably not likely, but you get the idea. That's my concern. That's something they need to be very concerned about going into these playoffs, because there's still some time between now and playoffs. There's still time to VOD review, practice. There's still going to be some patches between now and then, and there's going to be some more stats as well. We can take a look at the cap-off of Ancient and then the sum-up of the series as a whole. A lot more of a range between Map 1 and Map 2, still somebody with a 20 bomb. Map 1, it was Lambda Core. Here, it's Oscar. And once more, everybody was positive. Minus Spray, who went 12-12, even though I thought he did better.
Yeah, but Joker 15-1?
I didn't see that. What?
I didn't even notice that.
That's wrong. I'm sorry, that's wrong. He's got to be like 15-10.
I mean, they definitely all died in some of the rounds that Nevermind won, for sure. That is without a doubt. So that stat has to be a little bit skewed for Joker for sure. But aside from that, yeah, I mean, there's nothing really bad to say about the way that 15 average gang played this series, other than a couple of those rounds that they should have won just fell away from them. We look back at the total score for this one. Oscar had a lights out performance, 40-21, almost a 2.0 KD across 2 maps. That is insane to be said, and I think that Oscar is definitely going to be one of the main slayers for this team that I'm excited to see evolve beside Lambda Core, beside the rest of this team. 15 average gang, they're fun, they're exciting, and they are going to join 4 or 3 other teams inside the playoffs now, and for them, I'm sure that is an incredible thing to accomplish.
Joker went 15 or 16-12, not 16-1. According to the stat page at the end of the game. So a little bit of a misnomer. Joker actually went somewhere around the neighborhood of 30-26. So there's a small problem on that one. But other than that, the rest of these stats are correct. But you said it, Oscar 40-21. That's the standout performance. And the fact that Lambda Core was as consistent as he was through those 2 games is the impactful part on the side of 15 average gang. You see this overall roadmap. Look at the top left. Invitational qualifier, 2 teams. That is when Easy Money Sniper, or sorry, RGW took on 15 Average Gang as our first best of 3 of this series. Of the entire event. Now is the last, at least the last in regulation through monthly finals, 15 Average go from losing 4 months and change ago to now winning here to close out things and send themselves as the final team to the playoffs. The only invited team to then win a monthly final in the same series.
Yeah, it's a little bittersweet. We start the qualifiers with 15 Average Gang. We end the qualifiers with 15 Average Gang. And now with playoffs around the corner, we got 4 teams ready to go head-to-head for that chance at meeting on LAN in Dubai to play up against each other in person. And that is when things get real for a couple of these teams. Some of these players may have never had that opportunity, may have never been on LAN. So I know there's a lot on the line, let alone from prize money, but also pride between each other. And I'm sure the competition is going to be second to none when we do reach those playoffs. I'm excited to finally see teams like Easy Money Snipers, RGW Esports, and Team Poggers take the stage once more. 3 teams that were originally joining us in the playoffs. 15 Average Gang is our last team to join us into the playoffs. And for Easy Money Snipers, it has been a long time waiting for your chance to play again here at Arena Esports, powered by Etisalat by EN. So it is going to be fun to see them once more, TTL.
Yeah, I'm happy to see RGW again. The 2 teams I really want to see again, because I've seen Poggers and 15 Average Gang in the last 45 days or so. I want to see RGW and Easy Money Snipers, mainly because I want to see the differences in the team, not only the team composition, because obviously teams develop over months, but their play style, because again, Counter-Strike 2 is a completely different game compared to what it was on October 4th when we started this thing. The game was still in development. We were still having difficulties getting into the game as spectators. Now, well, the only thing we're really having difficulties with is slight disconnects every so often. And honestly, the mechanics are still somewhat similar, at least almost entirely similar from even Global Offensive. But the development of the game, the development of the engine, development of the teams, there's a lot of things that have changed in the last 3 months and change or so. And I am all here for it.
Oh, yeah. You and I both. But you got to talk about the prize pool a little bit. Congratulations, too, to 15 Average Gang for not only winning and making it to the playoffs, but they get a little bit of money, too. $650 for first place. $300 going to go to Nevermind at the end there. They're going to be splitting that one between and amongst each other. I think third place goes to Hell Legion and fourth place to whoever lost in the open qualifier. But that is going to be all said and done here for our qualifiers for the Arena Esports tournament, powered by Etisalat, the EN, the CS2 side of things. I know there's a lot of titles still to watch out for, folks, so don't forget to keep in touch with everything here for Arena Esports. Follow us on YouTube, follow us on all our socials as well to, stay up to date with everything that is happening. We got playoffs around the corner, but still a couple qualifiers to finish, I'm sure, for a couple of these other titles that are going to be happening in the coming weeks. So you don't want to miss out on any of it. All the action, it is fun, it is exciting to watch, and with playoffs coming up, you definitely want to be at least as educated with these teams as best as you can. So don't forget to watch and learn exactly what these teams have to offer heading into the playoffs.
Yeah, individual teams, sometimes full rosters moving themselves forward. We still have 4 other titles soon to finish. My hope is that PUBG Mobile is close on the horizon. But like he said, playoffs, I believe, undetermined. So make sure you keep an eye on those social media pages, Instagram, Twitter, and company, so you know when we are going live. And of course, turn on notifications on YouTube, because worst comes to worst, you just get the notification from them that all 3 of our multi-language streams have gone live. Don't forget, if you don't speak English as your first language, you still have an Urdu stream and an Arabic stream if you'd like to keep an eye on either of those. If you'd understand it better, more than welcome to head over there. But not for this broadcast. This one has come to a concise close. 15 Average Gang, the last of 4 teams in the Counter-Strike 2 playoffs here in the Arena Esports series, powered by Etisalat by EN, 80 Gaming, our strategic partner, and Platonia, our broadcast partner, allowing us to bring these broadcasts to you. The entirety of the Counter-Strike 2 regular season has come to a close. Playoffs still around the corner. Stay tuned as they come on the horizon.